Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. If you're returning, if you're a subscriber, thank you so very much for your support and being here. Members, absolutely, you know how I feel about you. I'm looking forward to getting together with you all on this Friday on our Zoom call. I'll talk to you. I'll send you a separate post about that in a little bit. And if you are new to the channel, I'm glad you landed here. I hope you like what you see and hit that like and subscribe button. I am a certified tarot reader. I am also a former newspaper journalist. So I approach my readings sort of, down to earth, try to get as much factual information as I can. And then we go to spirit and get a little more clarity around different issues. And I am also an initiated priestess in both Wiccan and African traditions. So I got quite a bit of a mixed bag going on, and I try to use all my skills to do my best with readings for you all. Again, really glad you're here. Let's get to it. Always a lot going on day by day by day. So last night, I'm taping this really early on Wednesday morning, the 26th. So last night, apparently, the GOP House, surprisingly, I was wondering if that was going to go through. And in fact, they were about to pull the vote from the floor, from what I understand. And at the 11th and a half hour, F45 got on the phone with the few Republican holdouts that there were and made all sorts of reassurances, and they bought it or whatever, felt the pressure and caved. So from what I understand, the only Republican, the only holdout who stood outside the lines was, what's his name, Massey out of Kentucky. But that was it. And the rest of them fell in line. You know what was really interesting about that too, you all? I read that there was eight representatives in the House who formed the Hispanic, I don't remember the exact title, but the Hispanic Caucus or Commission. And they wrote a letter to Mike Johnson, I think on the 19th. I ran across it online, and saying, please, this bill is going to hurt our states. It is going to hurt with potential cuts in Medicaid, SNAP, education, meals for kids in schools, etc. This is really going to hurt our people. It's going to be devastating. So please, let's not go that way. Lo and behold, every one of those 8 Congress people, from what I understand, voted to pass the bill. Same ones who wrote the letter last week saying, please don't do this, right? It's just so beyond twisted. And I know everybody's feeling like we're still in that sort of, we're in that find out phase. For those of us who know that acronym FAFO, F around and find out. And we're in that find out phase. But it's still surprising how some of them are on the one hand saying, protect our people, we're not going to go for this. And on the other hand, when it comes right down to it, caving. So that said, I got some emails and comments from some of you saying you wanted me to take a look at what the Senate will do as a result of this. So we're going to look and see if this Senate will sign on. We know that the Senate up until now had been talking about breaking it up into 2 parts. Getting one part now to keep the government open, and then dealing with larger issues and tax cuts later in the year. Mike Johnson had his marching orders to make sure that he got F45's one big beautiful bill through, and it looks like that's been done. How that's going to play out in terms of effectuating it and effectuating these cuts is a different story. But first, let's take a look. I want to take a look and see if in fact the Senate is going to fall in line and pass this measure now that it's managed to squeak through the House. 215 to 217. Absolutely no Democrats voted for it. We knew that was supposed to happen, that they were going to lock ranks and not do it. But the hope was just, they just needed like three Republicans to get on board and grow a spine and do the right thing, and didn't happen. All right, you all, let me get my deck straight. I got some cards flipped back and forth. Let's see what's going to happen with that. Also, quick housekeeping thing. I've got to mention this to you all because, especially with everything going on. This Saturday, March the 1st, I'll be doing a workshop with Susan Lynn, Spirit Navigator. Many of you know her. We love her to pieces. So we've done quite a number of classes together and been really successful with that. We're going to do one on this Saturday, March 1st, called Reawaken Your Soul's Destiny. When I tell you the timing for this is perfect, not, considering also that we're going into a new moon in Pisces on the 28th. So it's about setting intentions. It's about getting energetic momentum towards, keeping yourself on a forward momentum despite all of these things that are happening to try and provoke fear, stagnation, cowering, all of that. Reawakening our soul's destiny, knowing who you are, knowing why you are here, feeling really connected to your purpose and your power is more important now than ever. The class will be recorded in case you can't make it on Saturday. You can get the recording afterwards and watch it as many times as you want. Class is only $37, you all. $37. Hour and a half with me and Susan Lynn co-teaching. Going to give you exercises, going to get deep into what we consider the soul to be, its function. How connected are we to it? Do we just consider that, oh yeah, I know I'm a soul, I know I have an eternal soul, but like not really operating with that and feeling empowered by that in our day-to-day lives? That's something we're going to be talking about. So I will put a link to Susan's website down below where you can get on that and register for it. I'd love to see you there. It's going to be worth your while. All right. Also, I do new moon and full moon pick-a-card readings. I will have that up tomorrow, the 27th. So check back with me for that. All right, you all, let's get to this political stuff. GOP House Bill. Second thing I want to look at is the future of DOGE. All of a sudden, out of, pulling a rabbit out of a hat, here comes this person, Amy Gleason, who is now apparently the head of DOGE. Who knew? Who ever heard of her? She's in Mexico, from what I understand. When all of this news started breaking, she's off in Mexico somewhere, I guess, having a vacation in the midst of all of this. Like, huh? Okay. So want to take a look at that. DOGE is in trouble. The court rulings that we've seen, the resignation of, 20 or 21 people who were hired by DOGE, or picked up by DOGE, existing employees who were picked up by DOGE, and they said, we're not doing this. We just, in good conscience, we cannot hurt people this way and carry out what we're being tasked to do. So, future DOGE, want to take a look at that. And Zelensky, heart hurts for him. So he's supposed to be here Friday, from what I understand, to sign a deal with F-45 around minerals in Ukraine. Interestingly as well, Putin apparently has made some overtures to F-45 saying, we already have retaken some of Ukraine. You're more than welcome to work with me and get a benefit and get some minerals from there, right? Gonna take a look at that and see what's going to happen with Zelensky. He did talk about resigning if that would be what was in the best interest of Ukraine and getting a peace deal. Hard to watch. But, all right, let's go, you all. So the House Bill spirit. GOP Congress people passed the bill last night. Will the Senate pass the bill that was put through the House? Will the Senate pass the bill that was put through the House last night? Will the Senate pass the bill that was put through the House last night? All right, let's see what we get, you all. Page of Wands. Ten of Swords. I'll show you cards. And two, I just pulled two at once. Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. If it will pass, please show me a major arcana. And a certain type. Page of Swords. Wow, we've got pages all over the place. Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. I didn't get my major arcana that I was asking for. So that makes me feel, if the way that I work with spirit, or my guides work with me, I should say, is when I asked for something like that and it's a done, I would have gotten it. There is going to be some resistance, you all. All of these pages that came up, Page of Wands, Page of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles, which can move slowly. It's a push and pull. Swords moves fast. Fire ignites and can also move very fast, but Pentacles move slow. In tarot, if you're not familiar, pages are immature energy. It's where there's I feel like, in relation to our question, the Senate is going to look for ways to duck and dodge it. But the Ace of Cups combined with that Ten of Swords makes me wonder if, in fact, by the end of everything, they too will cave, because of that Three of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles that came together. Three of Pentacles is working together. Getting together to talk about how we can make this work. And the Nine of Pentacles is about the money, about the cuts that are a part of that bill. They're going to try and put a different face on it, you all. That's why we've got these pages here. They're going, as devastating as we know these cuts that are proposed in the House bill are, right? Medicaid, nursing homes, kids in schools, meals programs, SNAP benefits, etc. This is, and the fact that it is going to hurt. No surprise, it's going to hurt red states the most, especially rural areas in red states. It's going to hurt that they're going to be the ones to feel it the most. So the Senate is going to take this bill and somehow at least put on a face of resistance to it. Because they're worried. Ten of Swords. They're very, very worried. The Knight of Pentacles. They're going to walk it, but they're going to slow walk it. They're going to make a whole lot of noise. Seven of Cups. How do we please 45 and please, or appear to please, our constituents? Will the Senate pass? Three of Cups. And the Five of Swords. Lots of arguments, lots of stalling. And the Lovers, a deal struck. I think the short answer is yes. I think they will pass it. But they're going to slow walk it. They're going to put up arguments about what they don't like. A lot of it is going to be just for show, to try and prove to their constituents. We know about those town halls. Well, probably won't be seeing many of those anytime soon, right? They're going to have to pull the plug on those. Those town halls were not working out the way they thought. So yeah, we won't be seeing many of those anytime soon. But in the wake of those town halls, they're going to try and make it appear, spin it and make it appear. That's all those pages we saw. We're on this. We're going to find a way to make that bite, take some of that bite out of it. But ultimately, that Lovers card feels like that feels like a union between the House and the Senate. And ultimately, with that Ace of Cups that we got, I have a feeling they're going to go for it, you all. So let's just steel ourselves, because then the next part, and we've seen this, listen, we've seen Congress pass bills before, and then what got passed is not what happened, right? Especially when it was in people's favor. We've seen some backtracking on some things. So, and remembering too that many of these measures, from what I understand, are to implement these cuts over a period of 10 years. That's a lot of time and a lot of things happening especially as we approach the 2026 midterms. They already, the House knows they are just right there at tilting over to the Dems. They're going to lose some seats if they're not careful, and they are not being careful. So I'm also getting, Spirit is saying, as devastating as this is, and as harsh as some people are going, or many people around the country are going to feel this, it also serves the purpose to, it's going to tilt the axis back. People's outrage, people's understanding that this is not what we voted for. This is not what you told us. This is going to come more and more into the grassroots movements that we see happening. How that impacts candidates that are coming forth, we'll see. So it's all is not lost, is what Spirit is saying. This is a line in the sand, and every time they inch forward to promote, F-45's agenda, it puts that line closer and closer, them crossing that line with the American people in a way that is irrevocable. Okay. Let's go to the future of DOGE. Had to scrub some stuff off the website with their, a wall of receipts? They had to get some white paint and paint over that wall of receipts because those receipts were false. They were absolutely, made up. All these so-called cuts that they've been able to find and make and identify, solid evidence of where there was waste is not true. And what I'm getting you all is this woman that they've come up with, this Amy Gleason, she's a fall guy. She's somebody who they're put in place to try and protect. We'll call him Leon today. Somebody put that in my comments and I liked it. We'll call him Leon. They're trying to protect Leon/Muskrat. And they needed to do that because all of these mistakes, all of these errors, all of this pushback from the courts has been shining a real big spotlight on Leon. And they need a fall person. They need somebody else to stand up there and be able to point to and say, ultimately, if DOGE is going to start to fail and flail, they need somebody else besides Leon to point to and say, here's why that happened. All right. We have the Ace of Wands. So when I pull an ace while I'm talking like that, that's my guide's way of saying I'm on track with what we're saying. DOGE is the getting this Amy Gleason in place was completely smoke and mirrors again. And it was really a measure to try and protect Leon. We have the Three of Pentacles. Because that organization, that's an organizational situation with the Three of Wands. Exactly. How do we continue? Threes are groups. They are collaborations. They are an effort to demonstrate, look, we've got this. It may look a little wobbly right now, but we've got experts in place. They're doing a good job. We know that F-45 so far, like, who's ever seen it before? He's usually quick to, if somebody is looking bad or making him look bad, he's usually quick to put some snarky stuff in there. And so far, he is just all over Leon. He's not doing it. That Three of Wands and Three of Pentacles says this Gleason person is going to ingratiate herself, play along to get along, go with the program. Four of Pentacles, though, says they're not getting anywhere. They're stuck. It is the courts. It is their disinformation. What was the one thing where they said they cut, 80 billion out of a program, and that 80 billion turned out to be like 8 million or something like that. It was just a ridiculous figures that they're putting out that are not true. And the Five of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, this is him being Mr. Rich Man, Leon, and Five of Pentacles not being able to come up with what he promised because he doesn't know government completely. Doesn't matter how much money he had. Doesn't matter what he's done in the tech field. It's not in government, and government's a different entity. So that Five of Pentacles that came, and remember we also had that Four of Pentacles stuck, and kind of being left out on his own. Because here's the other part too, you all, with this Five of Pentacles. Those people who resigned, there's going to be more of that. There is going to be tremendous internal resistance for people who are being federal workers who are being pressured. And we have the Death card. I don't know about it. I feel like that's a timing issue. But DOGE is not injustice. Thank you, Spirit. DOGE is in trouble. Its whole premise was not well thought out. It was all about slash and burn and chainsawing through government. And we see that's just not going to work. We have the resistance to that. And, excuse me, and just lack of effectiveness despite it. So the bottom line is you're going to see more, what Spirit is saying to us, you all. We're going to see more dings against them, whether it's through the courts, whether it's through grassroots movements, labor unions, etc., who have come out. Federal workers are going to be such a powerful voice in the months and even years to come. I've also seen some information around federal workers getting more political as a result of this. You may see in some local and state governments and local cities people running for office as a result of what happened and what is happening to federal workers in this country. They certainly have a platform. They certainly have a voice. Be on the lookout for that. We may see some candidates emerging and having a tremendous amount of support based on that. All right. Finally, you all, I want to take a look at Zelensky. Spirit, is Zelensky going to resign? What is his future? What is his future? Zelensky. He's going to sign this mineral deal. He has no choice. He's been boxed in. Whew, something just flew off the table. Too many, though. Vladimir Zelensky. Vladimir Zelensky. Future for Vladimir Zelensky, Spirit. Future for Vladimir Zelensky. Four of Wands and the Five of Wands and the Moon and the Nine of Pentacles. He's reaching a breaking point, but he's also committed. There's a part of him, and a big part of him, that is truly, the people are behind him. Yes, he has his critics like anyone else, any other leader, world leader, but the people are behind him. But he just, with this Five of Wands, he's just catching it from all sides. And even though European leaders have come forward and said, listen, we got you, right? But do they have enough to replace what the United States has been giving Ukraine over the past 3 years? That's the conflict. And it's about the money. It's about the money, the weapons, the manpower, all the things that Zelensky needs in order to keep it going. And he's worried about it. The Moon, very, very worried about it. He's also tired, psychically tired. It's one thing, what Spirit is saying here, you all, it's one thing to have to fight a war against Putin and Russia. But now there are so many other factors that are coming at him, mainly F-45, but also what he feels is an inability to trust and rely on what will be supplied to Ukraine, even from others who want to support. There's the Nine of Cups, what he wants to do. And what he wants to do is a Page of Wands. He wants to keep up the fight. He really does. He wants to keep up the fight. He wants to feel renewed. He wants to get the support so that he can feel renewed as the leader of Ukraine. But what will he ultimately do, Spirit? What will he ultimately do? Queen of Swords. A decision that he's going to have to make. Knight of Pentacles. And the Ten of Cups. and the Ace of Pentacles. Is that a resignation? Temperance. Ultimately, I think Spirit is saying yes between this Ace of Pentacles and Temperance. Ultimately, I think we're going to see Zelensky step down. But that is not going to be right away. He really wants to, between that Ten of Cups and that Queen of Swords, I'm not sure who exactly this is. I almost feel like it's a female in the European Union, perhaps. Somewhere, someone who will offer support or has been offering support to him. But that Ten of Cups also says this is him thinking about what's best for the Ukrainian people as a whole. And if that temperance, if he has to weigh both sides, here's what it would take for us to continue this war, to continue to make the stand, or what I can offer, what he can offer as the leader of Ukraine to do that, to continue to do the work, knowing that it's going to be slow. 3 of Cups. This is the 3rd anniversary of that war that we know is just passed. And the Wheel of Fortune. Can he turn the tide? Can he last long enough? Can he, can he hang in there long enough to see, got it. Thank you, Spirit. He wants to hang in there long enough to meke out enough justice for his people to get, because remember, whatever this deal is that F-45 is pushing for, it doesn't have any guarantees of security. It's just about, if you want us in your corner in any capacity, you've got to give us your mineral rights. And there's the 7 of Pentacles. Assessing how much can we give with no assurance of our safety going forward. And there's the Magician. He is such a warrior. He is such a fighter, Zelensky. Truly. And his heart for his people, for the cause. He's invested so much of himself into this. He wants to try and find. I wonder if this is other nations that he will go to try and continue, U.S. aside, to try and continue to shore up support long term. 9 of Swords, the concerns about his ability to do that and get it, and the Sun. Ultimately, you all, Zelensky does not want to leave or step down from that post until he has done everything humanly possible to try and navigate with anyone, any countries who are willing to stand up for Ukraine, to offer military support, financial support, weapons, whatever it takes to try and help. So I don't see him resigning tomorrow. I do see him, Spirit is saying this has worn him down, the betrayal, the absolute betrayal. And remember, this was going on for quite some time. This was going on even while Biden was still in office and Congress resisting the additional funding for Ukraine, right? So this is not just because F-45 is in office. This is the pressure that Zelensky's been under now for quite some time, well over the past year. And that's really beginning to wear on him in terms of his own, him being convinced that if he just hangs in there and goes the distance, that he'll get what he wants. But we did get the Sun. And that overwhelmingly is a positive card. But I also think it is, in the context of what we're looking at, it's about the preservation of life, the preservation of families, and the preservation of what he can preserve, how much can be preserved without giving too much away. That's the balancing act that he's trying to do right now. All right, you all, I hope that was helpful. I appreciate you again. I love your comments. I only ask that we all continue to be respectful to one another. This is a community, and I will check back with you all in a couple of days. Okay, chin up, those shoulders back, you all. We got to remember to breathe. We are in this together. I'd love to see you at that Reawaken Your Soul's Destiny class, because it is, in order for us to chin up, shoulders back, continue to breathe, we have got to be in touch with our higher selves, with our soul, with that part of us that is not intimidated, that part of us that is infinite, that part of us that has the wisdom to show us how to stay strong and take care of ourselves in this time and as we move forward. All right, so talk to you real soon. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Bye.